Welcome to the Leadership Library podcast. I'm your host, Rocky Romanella. As you know, we have been talking about team building, building world-class teams. And, it's so important as it supports what's going on in the world around us. As you know, we're trying to build this economy here in the U.S. We're trying to bring manufacturing back. We're trying to now make agreements with other countries so that we can now export into their countries. And so the opportunity for us to kind of grow our businesses, whether it's a small business going from 1 to 2 to 3 to 5 people to a large business, opening up new places to do business at, new warehouses, new manufacturing plants. Growing your team is going to be so important. And so we've talked a lot about the different parts of this team builder. And we're going to wrap up today with the elements of successful team building. Like anything else, you've got to have goals and you've got to have checkpoints along the way. KPIs would be a better way, key performance elements. So let's start with, I think, the first one. You have to have a clear, elevating goal. What's our team's goal? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to look like? What defines us as a team? The second is you have to be results driven. At the end of the day, you can have a lot of great words, you can say a lot of good things, but it's all about results, right? Do we get to the place we want to get to? Is our team moving the way we need it or want it to move? Or are our people with us, right? So it's this whole kind of balanced leadership. Are we thinking like a customer, feeling like a valued individual, and acting like owners as a team as we move forward, right? Do we have team members, right, who are good, competent? Are they the best, the brightest, most informed, best educated people in the industry? Are we inspiring them to want that of themselves, right? Am I trying to be the best player I can be? And if I am, I'm inspiring you to do that. And you're inspired to want to do it yourself. We have a unified commitment. That's so important, right? We're all on the same page. We all know where we're going and why we're trying to get there. We have a collaborative climate that if you feel as though things aren't going the way you'd like them to go, that we can talk about it and we can come up with new ideas. So I'm going to stop there, right? And bring in Coach Romo so he can talk a little bit about this, having, clear, elevated goals, got to be results driven. You got to make sure that your players are all competent. They're feeling good about themselves. They're trying to be the best, brightest, most informed, best educated people they can be. And we have a unified commitment. Coach, what do you think?
I love it. I'm going to start backwards here. The unified commitment, I feel like, is so important. I mean, we're talking about teams, right? But to go back on an earlier episode, we talked about the individual inside of the team. And I feel like that's what you're kind of putting into this mixing bowl of creating a great team right now. Who the individual is, the ownership they have on who they are, and that somehow unifying them all to push the rope in the right direction. And I feel like extreme ownership, it's probably a word people have heard a lot. I know there's the book out there too, but in its simplest form, that's exactly what drives people. If they have ownership on what they're doing, they want to be successful for themselves. They want to be successful for other people. And I think that is hugely important in the team pushing in the right direction, is the personal motivation that will drive you to the unified team motivation.
Well, it's funny. We talked about it in previous episodes, and you've heard me say this before, and I'm sure the over 1,000 subscribers have heard me say it as well. I mean, true empowerment is when you discipline yourself. So when you have that player who's made an error, and you can tell that they're more upset about it than anyone else is almost, then you don't need to pile on with that person. You need to be the person giving them the lifesaver and telling them it's okay. They're already empowered because they're disciplining themselves. It's the player who then says, no, it's not me. That was a bad pitch. You hung a curveball. No wonder he pulled it. I needed help from another function. Nobody was there. That's when you have issues, when no one accepts that responsibility. And I think when you talk about that unified commitment like that, then the next step is you end up with high standards of excellence. You have principled people, principled leadership, and then you get external support, right? It's like when the whole university supports you is because you're easy to work with and you have high standards.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like those standards, they need to be derived from for me, I'm going to use the word student athlete or player, employee, whatever word it is. Those employees have to be who derives that foundation, because if they're the ones that believe these are the pillars that are going to make our team successful, these are the things that we can latch onto, well, then it's really easy, to your point, for them to buy in and want to show up every day and be excited about doing it with their team members.
Oh, absolutely. So as in everything we do, we have to have KPIs, we have to have standards, we have to have goals. And in this case, we've talked about it today, have a clear elevating goal, results-driven organization, competent players, competent teammates, people who want to be successful. We're unified in our commitment. We're collaborative. We talk to each other. We listen to each other. We set high standards, and we're principled leaders. I also think that also gets you external support inside of a corporation. It's your other functions, accounting, business development, all those different operations. Inside of a team, it could be the university, right, supporting you and helping you as you grow the business. By the way, I got an email from about 2 or 3 different people who wanted me to ask Coach Romo this question.
All right.
Question came in. We understand that Coach Romo is also your son, but is this the same Coach Romo who also has his own podcast? So you can answer those 2 or 3 emails right now.
That is fantastic. First and foremost, I appreciate the write-ins. Thank you. Everyone should be subscribing to the Leadership Library podcast, both on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Just search the Leadership Library podcast. I am the host of The Rome Show. We air the show every single day, generally at 7 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes we'll do an evening show. You can find the show also wherever you find your podcast. Just search The Rome Show podcast. Or if you go to the YouTube channel, The Romanellas, I know our name shows up a lot of places. We just like content in this family. You can subscribe, you could watch the show, and then you can see some of the golf content that my beautiful fiance and I produce, kind of bring people into our world of being high-level people in academics and athletics, while also enjoying our life together. So the Rome Show every day, 7:05. Subscribe. The Romanellas on YouTube, the Rome Show podcast, wherever. I appreciate this moment.
So the Rome Show, though, is on YouTube, right?
Yes, it is. If you type in the Romanellas on YouTube, it'll pop up right there. I set it up so that you could search the Rome Show or the Romanellas, and it would be able to be findable on both.
So for those 3 individuals who sent in an email, thank you very much for recognizing that for us. And
well, I was wondering if they were going to notice that my name, because if you look at the screen, your name says Rocky Romanella, and I put mine as the Rome Show 1, and I was wondering, and we had to write it, so people did notice, and I appreciate that. That's great.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I want to thank Coach Romo. Our next topic is going to be on sales and world-class sales organization, and how to get your revenue going, and we're going to bring in our subject matter expert with that. But Coach Romo, as you know, is also our crack producer, so we may have him. You may see his face pop up over the next series that we're talking about on the sales side. So once again, thank you all for listening. Thank you for sending in your emails and text messages. Remember, rockyromanella@gmail.com. At www.tightenthelugnuts.com. All of this is in the book, Tighten the Lug Nuts, that you can get on Amazon, and as well as these are all parts of workshops that I do currently today and will do for organizations, and I tailor it to your individual organization. Thanks, and once again, be safe, and we'll talk to you on our next episode.